In today's video, folks, I'm going to show you how to make this delicious bowl of healthy chicken chili made with chicken thighs, not ground chicken. Tastes like chili, and it's healthy. Okay, folks, this is going to be a quick and simple recipe to make. I'm going to make a nice, healthy chili using chicken thighs. So let's go through the ingredients. So we have here, I have 4 skinless, boneless chicken thighs. I have a red pepper. You can use a green pepper or whatever bell pepper you like in your chili. So I have a red pepper. I have an onion that's diced up. And then I have 3 cloves of garlic that I've minced up top. Now, the chili batch that I'm making, it's not a big batch. All I'm using is a cup of dried beans, which I have right here. They've been pre-soaked overnight and drained and strained. So it's just a small batch. This will do me about 2 days. And let's go through the next ingredient. We have here some diced tomatoes, and I got chili style. And we're going to use 2 cups of chicken broth over here. Now, it doesn't have to be chicken broth because really all of the seasonings, you're not going to taste any chicken in this. It's going to taste like chili because of all the spices. If you want to use a vegetable broth or any other broth, my only recommendation is don't use a broth that has any salt in it. Try to find ingredients that don't have salt because we're going to be cooking with beans. And just as an extra precaution, I don't put any salt in until after the beans are finished cooking. So here we go. Here's the spices. I have 2 tablespoons of chili powder. I have 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. I have 1 teaspoon of cumin. And I put about a half a teaspoon of lemon pepper. You don't need to add the pepper. This is just optional. I just want to give it a little bit of extra heat. Or if you wanted to, you can even add some cayenne pepper just to make it a little bit more toasty. So we're going to get this started, folks. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to saute the vegetables there for a little bit. And then we're just going to dump the rest of the ingredients in and go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, folks, so I put a little bit of olive oil in there just to cover the bottom of the pan. Now we're going to put in our veggies. See if I can get this in without going on the rim. Get those all in there. There we go. So what we're going to do, folks, is we're just going to simmer these for about 2 or 3 minutes just to get that garlic flavor and just for these to soften. Not very long. I'll bring you back once we're ready to start the next steps. Okay, folks, we're ready. So we can see if you have any stuff sticking to the bottom, you got to make sure that you scrape those up. So I'm just dumping the beans in, and I'm going to dump the tomatoes in. That should stop the steam. Give those a stir. And just scrape the bottom. You want to deglaze it. Make sure that there's nothing hard on the bottom of this. You don't want to be getting a burn notice. Get those stirred in. Then we're going to add our chicken stock in. You want to make sure that there's enough liquid to cover all of the ingredients that we're putting in here. Now, the spices. Get those stirred in well. I'm telling you, I tested this out yesterday because I wasn't quite sure how it was going to turn out, and I was quite surprised. It turned out really good. I got this recipe from ChatGPT again. Now, we're going to put our chicken in. At this point, I've stirred that up enough, so I'm going to get this spoon out of here. And let's put that chicken in. Make sure it's all covered. And of course, whenever you're handling chicken, Make sure you wash your hands afterwards. So you might be thinking, well, geez, those are big chunks of chicken. That's not going to be a chili. This chicken, when this is finished cooking, you're going to be able to shred it into pieces. So it'll be, rather than cooking this with ground chicken that ends up turning into sawdust, we're going to be using chicken thighs, and we're going to break it apart after it's done. And this chili is going to taste good. Stay tuned, folks. I'm going to get my hands washed, get the sealer on here, and I'll take you through the next steps. Okay, folks. So I'm going to take that off of the saute mode, click cancel. Then I'm going to move this up to pressure cook. And what I'm going to do is put the lid on. Make sure it's in sealing mode, which it is. And then we're going to start that cooking at high pressure for 25 minutes. That's going to build up the pressure. Then you'll see the timer counting down 25 minutes. After it completes the 25 minutes, we're going to let it naturally release for 10 more minutes. I'll bring you back once that 10 minutes is up and we start the next step. It's getting close, folks. Stay tuned. Okay, folks, the 10 minutes is up for the natural release. I'm going to press cancel. Then I'm going to press that lid to vent. And then I'll bring you back as I crack the lid open so you can see what it looks like inside. Stay tuned. Okay, folks, the pin has dropped. Listen for the sound. Watch the steam. There we go. Okay, folks, once that steam dies down, 1 sec. So we're just giving it a stir now, folks. And this is what you do with the chicken. So we've got a piece of chicken there. Just take a couple forks, and you're going to notice this is just going to break apart. And just do that to all the chicken. Just combine it together and break it all apart. So I'm going to go do that, folks. Once I get those 4 pieces cut up, I'll be right back. So there we have it, folks. All of the chicken broken up. And now we have a healthy version of chili, which, as you can tell by all the steam coming off, that this is very hot. I'm going to dish a bowl up there, folks, and we're going to do a taste test as soon as that cools down a bit. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Let the taste test begin. Hopefully this has cooled down a bit, but here's a look. Let's see if I can do this without spilling it. There's a look at what we're dealing with here, folks. Look at that. Pieces of chicken, the kidney beans, some cheese. Here we go. Still hot. It's delicious. This tastes like chili. For this, I would recommend using this as a base. It doesn't taste like chicken at all. So when I've been trying to live healthy and eat healthier, especially when I'm cooking at home, I only cook healthy food. So I switched from using ground beef to using ground chicken or ground turkey. And yes, whenever you make chili, because of all the seasonings and the spices, you don't really taste the chicken, but the ground chicken ends up being flavorless. It doesn't add any extra value to it. And I think nutrition-wise, I'd much rather have whether it's a chicken breast you're going to be using or whether it's a boneless chicken thigh you're going to be using. Either way, that meat's going to hold. It's not just going to disintegrate into the chili. This is delicious. I give this 2 thumbs up. And again, use this as a base. If there's other flavors that you like in your chili, then add them. If you like your chili to be more runny, have more liquid in it, then add more liquid to it. It's a delicious base recipe. It's easy to make, and it comes out fast. 25 minutes plus a 10-minute natural release. That's pretty quick. And this freezes well too. Now, this is a small recipe. I'm using an Instant Pot 6 quart. I could easily double this recipe. So instead of using 1 cup of dry beans, I would use 2 cups. It's very important that you soak the beans overnight. If you're going to cook dry beans without soaking them, double the time that you're going to be cooking them. Otherwise, you're going to end up with hard beans, and hard beans are poisonous. So, anyway, that takes us to the end, folks. I'm going to eat this up. It should be cooled enough now that I'm going to be able to enjoy it. I really appreciate everyone taking the time to watch this video. Zeus is coming in for some of that. Now you distracted me. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. If you're new here, there should be a playlist that should be popping up in the video that YouTube thinks that you may like. If it is something that you like, then please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you along for the ride. Thanks for watching, everyone. Jamie, signing off. You're not getting any.